Okay, the Dayton Conservation Commission opens its public meeting agenda for Thursday, May 30th, 2024. This public meeting is opening at 7 p.m. at the Council on Aging Primetime Building, 1059 Somerset Avenue. This meeting is video and audio recorded for cable broadcast and internet posting on www.dayton-mass.gov and YouTube. Stand please for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, first item on the agenda is introduced by myself, and the only thing I really want to say is that this past week, thereabouts, the chestnut trees that have been growing here produced 130 viable nuts, and those young saplings are now planted around the town for future generations to witness. Okay. Are there any questions on reviewing and acting on the minutes of our previous meeting? That was, let's see, we read the date on that one. Thursday, March 21st, 2024. Are there any questions or any changes to those minutes? Okay, is there a motion to accept?
Motion to accept the minutes from Thursday, March 21st, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passed. Review, discuss act, it's a continued hearing, it's an NRAD application by Whit Smith of New Leaf Dayton Energy Storage, LLC for 0 Maynard Lane, map 1, lots 82 and 82-7 and 96, file number 17-476, a continuance request received by Dean Smith to 5:30. Site visit with Beta and New Leaf Consultants occurred 5/1, awaiting report from Beta. Lisa, do we have any update on that?
Beta is finalizing their vernal pool report, and Mr. Smith is here to present,
Okay.
or should be. Is Mr. Smith here? We may have to put it off, maybe he's at the other building.
So what's going to happen, I believe, is that we may be going back in some cases if people get a little bit lost in the campus here, that if he comes in a little bit later, we will hear from him.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman, would you like a motion to table on this and then a motion to reconsider if the applicant comes back in?
How about just leaving it open, if we can leave this NRAD open for later information during this meeting? Or rather than, if we continue it, it's like it's gonna go to another day, and I know that there could be some confusion.
So motion to take out of order, or
I'm sorry?
just motion to take out of order maybe.
Yeah, so we'll head down. Okay, review, discuss, act, continued hearing, abbreviated notice of intent from Carl Rebello, Bell Farms Estates, seeking confirmation of wetland resources at 0 Milk Street, map 17, lots 109, 135, and 208, file number 17-489. Site visit between applicant and Weston and Sampson being conducted on 5/10. Scope of peer review services provided by Weston and Sampson on phase 3 on 5/21. Lisa, what have we?
Okay, so both the applicant and the peer review consultant are here. So Carl Rebello is the applicant, and Megan Kearns from Weston and Sampson is here as the peer review consultant, wetland scientist. So I didn't know if you wanted to ask Carl if he had anything to say before Megan presents, or?
No, again, no, yes, she was gonna be here, present her review and stuff like that. I just figured after she's done speaking, I was gonna follow up and just, they know that my wetland engineers need to update the plan according to her findings and things like that. They're in the process, so, ultimately, my part will be continued until next meeting, well, asking if they can, so.
Okay, do you expect a presentation by your scientist?
Not today.
I would, yeah,
Or next time.
yeah, next time, correct.
Okay, so you want to continue the hearing then?
Well, Megan's gonna present first. Megan is here from us.
Oh,
From Western Sampson,
Okay.
from the town,
Yeah.
peer engineer.
Okay,
So she, whether it's continued or not, they need to do their part, then we need to present
Okay.
our new plan with the updated documentation on it. So that's gonna be pushed into next week anyway, next month anyway.
okay.
And before you leave, just sign a continuance.
Do you want me to try to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think even if, let me see if Cable responded, but even if it's not recording,
I would try to do a screen share to see if that will allow us to.
screen share this out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Share.
Yeah, she didn't
Screen.
respond. On the desk,
Give me-
extra agendas are on the desk back there.
Is it okay if we just go back to the? We haven't started screen sharing yet.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to see if it would even load. It doesn't look like it's loading for some reason. So, never mind. Sorry.
Thank you.
Are we going to try to screen share or is it?
No, the zip drive isn't loading, so she's
Yeah, the
just,
folder's there, but the.
she's got paper copies for you guys and she's gonna present it that way.
Is there a place I should stand in here?
Right in front of us is fine.
Alright.
This is our first time here.
Yeah, no, I just wasn't sure where the right place to go is. So good evening, my name is Megan Kearns, a wetland scientist with Weston and Sampson. Apologies that there's not a presentation, but I'll walk through my findings of the vernal pool assessment that I did earlier this month. So in the letter that I just passed around on page 2, there's a nice map from the consultant outlining 5 areas that were potential vernal pools. And I walked through these 5 areas in the remainder of the letter, and then there are some photos for each area as an attachment. So I'll just quickly walk through the areas one by one, if that is okay with you. So starting with area 1, that's at the northern portion of the parcel. And that was flooded during the field visit. There was a stream flowing in and out of it, so likely it's not a vernal pool. There were no vernal pool species found during the site visit either, so we concluded that in agreement with the consultant that likely was not a vernal pool. Area 2 is located in the northeastern corner of the parcel, and that's a forested isolated wetland. There was standing water observed in that wetland as well, about 12 to 24 inches. I did observe some adult wood frogs in the area and did find wood frog tadpoles during sweeps in the area. So wood frogs are an obligate vernal pool species, so we determined that that likely was a vernal pool. That's area 2. There are some photos in the photo attachment showing these tadpoles. That's photos 3 and 4 in the photo attachment for your reference. Moving on to area 3, which is just south of area 2. That's probably the largest isolated wetland that was delineated. There is standing water observed, probably about 24 to 36 inches. It was pretty deep in some locations. In this area as well, there were adult wood frogs and wood frog tadpoles observed during sweeps with a net. So because again, that's an obligate vernal pool species, area 3 is likely a vernal pool as well. And there are some tadpole photos. Photo number 6 is a good representative photo of the tadpoles found during the sweeps there. Moving directly south of area 3, there's another small isolated forested wetland. There were some very shallow pockets of water here, probably about a couple inches, nothing too deep. There are no vernal pool species or characteristics in this area, so we agree that this is likely not a vernal pool. And lastly, area 5 is in the southeast corner. That is the only area that's actually mapped on Mass GIS data as a potential vernal pool. The other 4 locations are not mapped as potential or certified vernal pools on Mass GIS data. Area 5, there's approximately 6 to 12 inches of standing water. However, there are no vernal pool species observed in this area, no characteristics. So we agree with the consultant that that likely is not a vernal pool. So just to summarize, areas 1, 4, and 5 are likely not vernal pools, and area 2 and 3 are likely vernal pools. And you can flip through these photos, they go from areas 1 to 5.
And I'm sorry, could you put which area was particularly not vernal pool?
Areas 1, 4, and 5 are likely not vernal pools. They didn't show any vernal pool characteristics during the site visit, and areas 2 and 3 are likely vernal pools, given that they had wood frog tadpoles in them.
Those areas that are not vernal pools, they would still be likely wetland areas.
Yes, they're still isolated wetlands.
Yes.
Yes.
The review of Weston and Sampson's complete review of the wetland areas are gonna be presented at the next meeting. This is just strictly the vernal pool review assessment.
Okay,
Before
perfect.
vernal pool season ended.
Thank you, yes, I have also observed tadpoles in this area, I've also observed box turtles in the area 3 and 4.
Yeah, so I did also walk around a little bit to look for other wildlife habitat features, because there are some good habitats for turtles, as you mentioned, as they like to live in wooded forests, fields, and ponds. So there are also some photos in this attachment. Photo 9 and 10 show some good turtle habitat. I did not find any turtles as I was out there. I did notice a couple of tree stands for deer, saw some other wildlife of that nature, but no turtles were observed during the site visit. I'll open it up for any questions. I know I walked through that kind of fast.
So, when the environmental consultant or the applicant had submitted the report, they didn't include the data forms, but they also made reference in a number of responses to Weston and Sampson that, there's no anticipated impact to banks, but I just wanna be clear that when we do expect the streams, whether they're intermittent or perennial, to be shown on the plans. Other than that, I really don't have any.
Could I ask another question?
Yeah, of course.
Is right here, I apologize, we're not on this.
No, no problem.
Right here in this area, was this area examined at all? Because there's a puddle that runs right here, that's there almost year round, and I've observed tons.
Yeah,
over there.
this whole access road was pretty flooded when I was out there. I think it had just rained the day before.
Right, this area right here is almost year round.
Yeah, I poked my head in a couple spots, when looking for turtles, but, I didn't do a sweep there. I only focused on the 5 areas that they had, outlined. But yeah, it is, there was water there. There's also water sort of in here too, which I think you have to get.
Right.
Adjusted the
we'll
flag.
check.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, it's quite wet. It's fully early, but yeah.
Carl, any idea when you're gonna turn in the payment for the additional peer review?
Yeah, I thought we were gonna wait until I submit the most current plan so they can revise their proposal.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, so what's happening is there's another set of plans, so we asked them to hold off.
Yep, so there's a first round of review, and they've updated the plans and I've addressed, I believe, my comments, and then, I'll take a look at that and address any further comments.
Due to the new runnable data, we're gonna update the plans again and then have a review one time on everything, so they'll be revising their proposal and then I can see it.
Great. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No further questions? Yes. Okay. Okay,
Definitely, okay. Okay, perfect.
okay, we're gonna ask you for continuance till next month,
Yes.
okay. Is there a motion to continue to our June meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Lisa, June what?
27.
20 what?
27.
20th,
Oh, the 20th, I'm sorry.
you can come on the 27th.
Okay.
Teasing.
20, okay. Okay, next on the agenda is review, discuss, act, continue, on a continuing hearing from Ahmed Hafez on Grasshopper Energy, 0 Brook Street. Work includes clearing of 28 trees within the 25 to 100-foot buffer zone from jurisdictional wetland. File number 17492. Okay. Okay, it's asked to continue to an uncertain date. Lisa, you haven't heard from anything.
Nope, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
So we are just going to send an email out to the applicant on Monday and ask what the status is and if they wish to proceed.
Okay, so we will just continue until June 20th. Is there a motion? All in favor?
Aye. And Mr. Chairman, a couple of more people have come in. Would you like to circle back to see somebody from the first agenda item is here?
I think New Leaf is here, but,
We are.
okay.
Okay. You're for New Leaf Energy Storage,
Dean
okay.
Smith from New Leaf Energy, for the
Would you
record.
do us a favor?
Sure.
We're recording.
You guys went out
Okay.
riding a ride for you to be late?
Actually, can you go down that end and
I
present?
can.
Okay.
So, it's been some time since we were here before the commission. There was a couple of vernal pools that were sited on the property. Our consultant was too late to be able to go out and confirm those during the last season. So we were last here in the fall before you. So our consultant's been back out, beta walked the site with them again. And this is a neighborhood exhibit. Maynard Lane comes in here, that's where the entrance to the property will be. Chestnut Street down here, Reynolds Avenue. There's a new substation under construction just over the town line in Rehoboth by National Grid. So our project will eventually interconnect there. But these blue areas on the plan are the locations where they verified vernal pools. We submitted an updated delineation plan and a new ANRAD plan stamped by the surveyor that documents all of this. There are a number of isolated wetlands also.
Now, that was what was submitted on the 22nd.
It was just submitted last week,
Yeah,
so.
unfortunately, these guys haven't had a chance to review any
Yeah,
of
I'm
it,
sure you haven't
just so
had a
you know.
chance to look at it
Okay.
yet. But we wanted to come since it had been such a long time since we were before the commission.
Great,
And have a closer view of things here. So there's a very small vernal pool up in the northern portion of the site. So this shaded blue area would be a 100-foot area around that would be the vernal pool resource. And then the buffers that are shown outside of it. Same, internal to this wetland area, there are vernal pool areas. So we're showing both the vernal pool setbacks as well as the standard buffers around the surrounding wetland area. So we're just here for an NRAD, so eventually to get a jurisdictional determination from the commission. And if you have any questions about any of that, I know that you haven't had time to see the new information, so there's a complete report with data sheets and photos from the site for review.
And where's the proposed project site?
Well, it will be over in the northwest part of the property eventually. There may be some facilities here. The entrance would come off of Maynard Lane and across.
photos, too, if anybody wants to look at them right now.
Is this simply to the battery storage
Eventually it's
attached to a field?
It's a standalone battery storage project. And it'll connect through the substation as well.
So, yeah, so Beta is preparing their report, hopefully the final report. And they did provide us with a proposal, an estimate. Let's get that to you guys, so you know. Do you recall what the amount was, off the top of your head? 2,700?
Yeah, it was an additional 2,700.
Okay.
I just entered the check request, so we should be able to cut the check for that next week. So we should have it well in advance of the next meeting.
Great, okay.
Okay, so what we're gonna be needing is a continuance to review the information and to act on your NRAD for our next month. So continuance to June 20th. Okay, Lisa, you have the paper to sign, and is there a motion to continue to June?
Did anyone out in the audience have any questions? Sorry. Did anyone hear?
The initial plans I saw for what they want to do was covering that whole area they were there, almost 10 acres.
Yeah, that'll be revised based on.
Are you gonna present a revisal before next month when you come in?
This is just for the jurisdictional determination. It doesn't have anything to do with the use approval for the battery.
And also the contamination's coming off that, what kind of containment fields are you putting in for that?
Oh, so,
That will come later. Okay, right now, all we're doing is looking at the resources.
Okay,
Where are the wetlands? Where are the vernal pools? Are there any streams? Are there other ponds? That's all that this is doing.
all
It
right.
has nothing to do at this time with
Construction.
anything else, any kind
All
of
right,
construction.
I understand.
it's just jurisdictional areas, so they can hopefully locate everything as far away from those resource areas as possible. And then you'll get another abutter notice when they decide
Okay.
they're gonna have something more
That's some
tangible.
scary stuff they're working with there.
But I do have a question for you, from what he said at the beginning, is the site actually bigger than what you presented to us for NANRAD? No.
Just for Dayton?
It's only in the corner of Dayton, yes.
The bigger side of the site, this is our whole.
No, that would just be the interconnection to the corridor, the transmission lines that are here.
Back to the grid.
It will connect through the substation that's.
In Rehoboth.
In Rehoboth, yeah. The project itself resides on this property.
Oh, I thought vice versa.
No, no, the project will be on this property that's out on the Genesis here.
And were butters in Rehoboth notified when you did the SAMRAD? Yes.
They were.
Okay, thank you.
That's,
Okay, yes,
I didn't receive a notification of this, and last time you guys had a meeting, I did get notification as an abutter.
Okay, so we can pull out so this has been continued a long time, just so you know.
Okay,
So you might have got one.
all right,
When did you first submit? A year ago?
Almost a year ago, yeah.
okay, so you didn't get, you don't send an updated notifications each time?
No, we don't do that.
Okay, so you get all right, not a problem, I understand.
Sorry, yeah, you just.
I just watch your agenda.
Do you want me to check to make sure you got one, or?
No, I know I got it,
Okay,
I know I got it,
you got
it's
it.
okay.
okay, so June
Thank you so
twentieth,
much.
No
June
problem.
20th will be the meeting here, and then they'll have to send out notices. Is there anyone else in the audience who has a question? Okay, is there a motion to continue to June 20th?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, down here. Okay, a review, discuss, act on a continued hearing, it's abbreviated notice of area source delineation. The applicant Alexander Riverio seeking confirmation of wetland resources at 0 Tiger Lily Road, map 2, lot 4-5, file number 17-495.
Hi, Greg Driscoll here from Getty Civil tonight, representing Alex Rivera. Do I put the plan up? I know we've seen it a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Done that end. Most recently dated plan would be, 4/11, Greg?
yes.
Hello.
Okay,
There's more than one there. You
yeah,
guys want close up?
okay. And you would know. I think, Jack, can you see it there too? Rather than getting that out. Okay, here's the.
All right, so, since we went through previously, Lisa went up to the site, met with Brad Holmes, or if you want to.
No, that's fine.
Okay, and, I mean, you saw everything, you guys agreed.
Yeah, delineation, the extra delineation of the banks looked good to me. Flags were hanging.
And then, going back up.
Mr. Ribeiro wanted to perk, so he had staked out the area he would access the back through. He even staked out all the areas of the perks.
I didn't bring that plan,
That's
we had
okay.
part here, and then several of them.
Yeah. So the building commissioner, health agent asked for soil evaluations for both the house and where the house would be and the septic. Yeah, so if you want to take it from there.
Yeah, so as far as the wetlands go, Lisa did the second review with Brad, so we heard her say she's in agreement. We did some soil testing back here, we dug a hole, didn't get very deep, there was a ledge in between, so that didn't turn out to be a viable area to accept it. When we moved up to the front area, but we got perks out there. And I think everything that we have shown on the plan is an agreement between our consultant for the wetlands and the consultant for the commission and the conservation agent.
The only thing I was wondering was the note as far as the tributary in an ORW. So what the commission has always done is use, I know you said you found different information, but they've always relied on, because it is a DEP regulation for the 200-foot setback. They've always relied on the DEP mapping. And I know you said you used the zoning map, but, so I guess for this, I just would like a note on the plan, if you could, that, the mapping would be consistent with the DEP requirements as far as the ORW. And then if we need to, we can do a little more research on that, but, you know, the resources as shown are accurate, so.
So a note that says something along the lines of setbacks to resource areas will be based on DEP regulations?
Yeah.
Something like that, okay. I
And,
might
and,
type that up in an email, send it to you first.
and the local I mean, you know,
Hello.
obviously local bylaw comes into play for that, but, now because you didn't get a perk in the back, I think this is kind of a moot point, but,
Yeah, we are definitely concentrating on this area up front, right here, with the septic.
True.
Outside the high foot.
That's gonna have you
What
basically.
outside?
So
It's a
as,
possibility we could put the house back here, the to the front,
Is the house still going up on top of the, that's a debate at the moment.
yeah. But we gotta look at performer, costs and everything.
Just cost.
Cost.
Cost of pumping out front.
Okay, one of the things you have to be aware of is that the fire department requires a 20-foot access road and a turnaround. What do you call it, a hammer?
Yeah. So, if those things,
Understood.
okay,
What is the regulations for how long the road can be before turnaround?
you'd have to talk to the,
yeah,
I should be able to-
yeah, I don't know how far that is, it's probably,
how
200
far is
feet.
that? How long a driveway would that be?
roughly, you know, it's just something you'd have to check into.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's
200 feet?
more than that. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, I think it was probably more than 200 feet, so it was. Might have,
Maybe three,
200 feet?
How much?
about 300 or so.
yeah.
Small field.
Yeah, they're gonna become active in this, you know,
That's fine,
for fire protection, okay?
understood.
Yeah, and so,
And the other thing you have to consider is, you know, the first thing we always require you to do is to avoid any wetland impacts. And then if you can't avoid them, then you can minimize and then mitigate. So in this case, you have to prove to us that you can't put a house out front. That's really how this works.
Okay. That's not direct wetland impact, those would be buffer zones. Buffer zones,
Right,
to get through, you know, we'll be outside.
well, if you assume that the,
We're outside the 25-foot no touch,
so what you was, put the septic in the front
no building, yeah, the septic could go up front.
Something regardless,
That's one of the options.
without wetland impacts?
yes. Your line will run through your road.
Yeah, we run
The line will run through the road.
yeah, we run the force main up under the driveway around to the front.
okay,
So we're not going through the wetlands, we're not gonna destroy wetlands, property or do anything like that.
okay, well, right now, it's the,
Yeah, right.
the
Yeah.
NRED, so.
We don't wanna get ahead of ourselves.
It seems like that is, satisfied as far as having an accurate map. And then you have to do the calculations as what you can and can't do, with spacing for fire road and the rest. But that would come in a separate NOI.
And we appreciate the feedback, so when we go to the last stage, we'll, you know, what you guys.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, it would be crazy for us to say, hey, yeah, we're all set in the fire department, come in and say, hey, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
in the very initial stages, that did happen,
Yeah,
and we don't want it to happen anymore.
the other thing you have to consider too is that we're revising our bylaw over time too, so we're expecting in the fall we have a revised bylaw. One of the things we're gonna do is incorporate the DPW directors, well, I'm hoping the commission would vote on this, to incorporate the DPW directors, you know, as a sign-off kind of person for projects, especially when they involve, you know, work on it right away, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know, Jim, if you want to ask if anybody had any questions.
Okay. Anyone in the audience have any questions on the INRAD? Okay, do we have a motion to accept the mapping as presented and as altered? And that would be dated, over here, 4/11/24. Oh, so moved. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next time, go for it. Next step. Yeah, I get it.
I know.
Okay, so we'll have,
Here's one here.
we'll have the ORAD, nope, those are mine.
Oh, those are yours, so, yeah.
We'll have the ORAD for you within 21 days signed, but, do you wanna pick it up or do you want us to mail?
I'll pick it up myself.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a notice of intent from Junior DeLima for construction of a single-family home. Utility septic system driveway proposed grading at 418 Hot Street, map 20, block 95. A portion of the project falls within the buffer zone and jurisdictional wetland resources under the local bylaw. Plan sent to PW Director Tom Ferry for input and email received. No file number since it's under the local bylaw only. The Dayton Conservation Commission requested home corners to be staked, clarifying filling, cutting, and regulated wetlands and a buffer zone has occurred. Okay,
Okay, my name's Brad Fitzgerald from SFG Engineering, 28 Main Street, Lakeville. Just to recap, we were there last, the proposal, there used to be a single-family house on this property. It was raised several years ago. We're proposing to put a new house in with a septic going up here in the back. It was the only place we could get a perk test. You have an isolated vegetated wetland down here on the corner, which has been flagged, and so you've got your 25-foot buffer, your 50 and your 100. The septic is outside 100, which meets town requirements. The house is more than 50, which meets town requirements. And we hit the 25-foot is a basically no touch zone. The yellow line here you see is erosion control along or further from that 25-foot buffer line. At the last meeting, you requested that we put some check dams in and another line of erosion control up here at the base of the slope. So that's been done, added to the plan. And there was talk with a meeting with Mr. Ferry from the Highway Department to go over the plan. I met with him out there. His basically his email.
Do you want to read his email or do you want me
Yeah.
to? Just make it part of the record, please?
Yeah, actually, I don't know, do you have it?
I have it.
Okay.
Yep.
He does.
All right, so. Brad, thank you so this is dated Thursday, April 25th. Thank you for meeting me at 418 Hart Street this morning. I have a better understanding of the proposed driveway and grading now. I do believe, as we discussed, the driveway location as this plan is in good location, and the grading of the driveway should be shifting away to the west with a 12-inch cross pipe under the driveway to flow to the west is the best approach at this location, along with no regrading of town property. And we will have a good handle on stormwater concerns. Please don't hesitate to contact me, Tom Ferry, Highway Superintendent, 774-218-5339.
So what he was talking about, we have the driveway here coming in. Right now, the driveway is over here, and that's what was kind of confusing for him. I explained there's a utility pole here, and the driveway's going west of that. Over off property, there's a catch basin in front of the next house. Everything grades that way. He had replaced that basin and the piping and rerouted it due to an issue with the neighbor across the street. So that pipe, or that catch basin picks up all the runoff and takes it down around onto Elm Street, down the hill. So he wanted me to make sure that this driveway is sloped this way from west to east down, and we have pipe under so that
West
everything,
to east, east to west.
east to west, I'm sorry, east to west. So that all the water flows westerly to that catch basin. So I've made note of that on the plan. We've got the 12-inch diameter culvert with riprap beds on either end. One half of that pipe is just within the 100-foot buffer, the other half is outside of it. So the driveway will come up here for the side entry. Any runoff will come down and go west and head to that catch basin.
What is the pink line in the left corner? Yeah,
That's a 100-foot buffer from a wetland across the street.
right here, yeah.
But we're not proposing anything other than one of the check dams within that 100-foot buffer.
And there is a catch basin to the west in the right of way. You did not locate it, but
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beyond the driveway on the other side, in front of the house next door.
I was up there yesterday and Dave, I don't know if you wanted to have any questions. I was
Yeah,
with Dave.
I do have a couple questions. On the driveway, how it swings to the left. There's a big tree there, and then there's some ledge right beyond the tree. Are you eliminating the tree with this driveway?
I don't know that.
I mean, there's a considerable amount of ledge right
Yeah.
beyond the tree.
And in the foundation.
In the
Yeah.
foundation.
Yeah. I personally, I haven't been out there more than once at a time. I've never listened to Jerry, my father's been out there for most of the field work. I wasn't aware that there was a very large, usually we locate large trees, but I guess he didn't get that one.
Well, I mean, it looks, when we were looking at that, Lisa, it looked like it was just on the edge of how the driveway curved.
Yeah,
So I don't know if you're gonna have to eliminate that, but then you
Well, I
got the
would
ledge
think-
to deal with too.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it's the ledge and the slope that I'm really concerned about, because if you don't eliminate the ledge, the driveway is gonna be like this.
You have the word cellar written down here. It's either filled with water or it's ledge up high.
Yeah, we're keeping that above that, as far as I know.
You're gonna raise the whole house?
Yeah, right now we've got a cellar of 103 existing, well, no, existing is around 110, so, I believe they're planning on footing drains and, getting it down to the pipe so it can run west.
Okay, so the stormwater drains are gonna be in the ground
Yes.
from the roof? Yeah.
But as for that ledge, I can't tell you what, my guess is they would try to probably work with it and grind it down if they can, and because when it comes to, the guy's building a house for himself, I believe it, and he needs to be able to get in and out, so he's gotta do something.
Yeah.
All of it would be at or outside of the 100-foot buffer, the only issue would be how he grades it. He's gotta make sure that he grades it to the
west.
east to west, yeah.
That ledge appears to be out of the 100-foot buffer zone. But certainly the dug portion, there's a lot of water there and, right now. And when I went there, I was there today, and there's a lot of grass in this area here. And there was actually flowing water from north to south through that grass. And, I assume it's been that way all the time. And that's probably what's making this wetland area over here to the east. I don't know how that's gonna be handled.
I believe, the footing drain will help a lot with that, also the grading of the septic system will, get it around the house and the driveway will get it, once we get it into the driveway, then we know it's getting into that catch basin. Going away, either it's going, some of it will be going down to this ponding area, this IBW. But we're gonna try to keep the majority of it going to the driveway, to that catch basin.
Any more questions? Any questions from the audience? Yes, sir, your name?
Proposer, I live across the street. The water that's there is going into my property. He said the water was going down the road. It's not going down the road, it's coming in my property because there's a pipe that goes underneath the road. And it's a continuous stream that comes. They built up the driveway so the water would be pitched over across. And if you go right by now, the water's coming down. But it said that the water was going, the last meeting, that water was going over this, down the street. It's not going down the street, it's coming to my property. And the water's gonna, and it's gonna have to stop. I've been dealing with this problem for years and years, and now they're doing it right now by putting that pipe in there to try to divert the stream. There's a stream that's right there.
So it's more like an isolated wetland with surface flow that's very, very intermittent, only when there's a storm that happens. There's no bank, there's no delineated stream, there's no anything like that, but the slope of it is, this land is up here and your house is down here. So if the road wasn't there, the water would always go across the street, right? Would always go downhill. But what Mr. Fitzgerald has redesigned, I believe, is to relocate the water so it goes into the other watershed down to Elm Street and it's away from your property. If that doesn't happen, then you have a civil matter, I believe. Right, Brad, is that?
Well, yeah, well, don't forget, we're gonna be moving that driveway.
The
Right.
driveway's gonna
The
be
whole
eliminated.
driveway's gonna be.
Built up the driveway.
No,
gonna be
that's
sold.
gonna move. You
That's
wanna
gonna
come
move
look
to
at the
the other
plans?
side of the utility
We're
pole,
gonna move it to the east or west
to
side,
the west,
to the west side.
yeah,
So you're gonna push it over the other end,
yes.
Mr. Reposa,
so it can go into my other property.
No, so we'll go into the catch basin that's next door, in front of the house next door. There's a catch basin that the town put in to protect your property, and we're gonna be putting the water into that catch basin.
But it's not protecting my property at 403 Hart Street.
Right, and we don't intend to put water that way,
It's going there,
Right.
well, where's it gonna go? It's not
the
gonna
other
go.
way.
And what about the pipe that's underneath the road that's feeding the water from your,
I don't know, that's
Oh, you
not
don't
on our
know.
property,
I know, because the water's coming from that stream.
but it's not on our property.
Another thing that might mitigate some of it is, the neighbor to the east of this
Right.
property. He
Were
was,
they all notified? Was all the abutters
Yeah.
notified?
everyone was notified, but when I was out there, I spoke with him about, he had been cutting really close to the wetland and inside the wetland in some occasions. He's gonna leave a lot of that natural, so if trees start to come in naturally, maybe that'll help absorb some of the water. But the plan is to leave as much green space on this, and you've added some seed mix to restore the disturbed areas.
Correct. And the finished grading will all be loam and cedar, which should hopefully collect rain, runoff also and seep it into the ground. There's quite a bit, as you can see, there's quite a bit of,
Do you think that some of your pitching of land and that pipe would reduce the amount of water that flows?
Outside.
Is the pipe under the street? Is the pipe under the street?
It's taking all that water from that side there.
Well, this has been going on for years now, you said.
Yeah, there's because there's a
Okay,
stream that was under the
so
old
if he
house
can-
that was there.
If he can do something with that water, that's, I mean,
I want the water
that's the way-
eliminated from my property, period. If they don't, then I'll have to go further.
We can't stop Mother Nature, and we're not creating any more rain, and neither is Mr.
What are you gonna do
Fitzgerald.
about the pipe that's running that water into my property?
Nothing.
That's nothing to do with us,
What do you mean it's got nothing to do with you?
it's nothing to do with us.
Yeah, that has been there. We are concerned with the flow from his property, and he has a plan to take care of that. Now, what has happened in the past, you can't expect him to correct all the problems that have been going on for years.
But he's
If anything,
creating
it'll
a
make
problem
it
by
better.
building up the driveway.
But the driveway is gonna be on the west side, and the water's gonna be piped out. So I was there today, and it doesn't seem as though the elevation is higher to do any disruption.
No, because
Okay.
you go there when the grass is growing, why didn't you go before and watch? Naturally, the water's
I've
taken
been
care
there
of.
4 or 5 times now. And Mr. Phillips has been there at least 3 or 4 times.
I've been there, 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to move on, we have a lengthy agenda here, and, is there anyone else from the audience that has concern? Yes, Mr. Hall?
Leonard Hall, 760 Main Street. I've heard term stormwater, as I look at this posting, makes reference to building permits, board of health issues in regards to septic. Has this been at all talked about at PAC meetings? The coordinated efforts of this is.
We are, when it involves wetlands of a single-family home, we are in charge.
Oh, has it been discussed with
Has there been
the
communication
building inspector
and board of health?
and the health director?
Just so they're in on the loop, so communication is better, so this process can be more streamlined. That's my concern.
It's been-
Yes, how,
It's been submitted to the Board of Health.
did they approve the septic yet?
I don't know that. I believe they have, but they don't notify us.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, they do now. I can't recall. They usually send us an email or phone call that says.
Good question.
But I think he's waiting to get conservation approval before he issues his final approval on the septic. And he'll also get plans when they apply for the building permit.
Yeah, well, they did apply, didn't they? They applied for a building permit.
Okay.
And I went out there and I told, this was months ago now, but,
Oh, yeah.
and I did tell the building commissioner that they had already dug the foundation hole. And it did perk, and now there used to be a house on this lot,
Correct.
is it in the same location here?
Pretty much. The house might have been roughly where the garage is on this lot.
Yeah, that's where I saw all the brick and, today.
Okay.
And this actually, when we first took on the project, we were handed a plan from, might have been, I don't remember when, but 2010 or 11 by Mr. Gorodetsky, who did a plan for a septic system. And then we were hired to try to perk it in the front, to try to move the system to the front instead of up in the back. And we couldn't get it to perk in the front, so
Yeah.
we had to stick with the back. And we worked, a lot of our stuff came from Mr. Gorodetsky's plan, and our field work. And we did go out and perk it with the Board of Health. I believe they might have been taught at the time.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, was it last summer?
It was taught, yeah.
okay, is there a motion of any kind on this application?
You do have temporary erosion controls, and you believe what you've designed is going to mitigate the stormwater and any potential erosion controls. And if there needs to be any more additional added, we can do that if it becomes a problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always been under the impression that, you know, when you go out there, if there's an issue,
Yeah.
you're the boss.
Well, yeah, and the other thing I was thinking about is a driveway. I mean, it would be great if they could do it a pervious surface instead of an impervious surface. Because I feel like an impervious surface is just gonna be like a ski slope for that water.
I'll ask them about it if they're interested.
Yeah. That would be,
At least that would be within the 100 feet that could be conditioned.
yeah, but it's better if it's on the plan, because then the driveway wouldn't end up there before I
Well, the plan says proposed driveway, it doesn't say
Great.
asphalt, so, if you conditioned it,
Okay.
Okay, either a motion to reject the application or to accept it with orders of conditions.
Motion to accept notice of intent with conditions set forward.
Second.
All in favor?
thank you very much.
Okay, I have 21 days, as you know. Do you want me to mail or would you like to pick it up?
Just, if you let me know, like, when it's ready, I'll see if Steve's gonna be in the area.
All right.
Okay, next on the agenda is a continued hearing. It's abbreviated notice of resource area delineation. It's an application by David E. Wallace seeking confirmation of wetland resources at 833 William Street, map 9, lot 20, file number 17-499. Scope peer review services received from Weston and Sampson in the amount of $47.20 and a contract signed on 5/20/24. Lisa, could you give us any update on that?
Well, are they here for this? They haven't reviewed it yet, but I believe Megan is setting up something to start reviewing it this week.
Okay,
If
So-
anybody wants to join her or anything, just let us know. And I'll do my best to at least go out and meet her for a little bit, but I can't, commit to too much.
Yeah, planning on next Wednesday,
Okay,
but I can shift it to a different day as well.
sure. Is the applicant here, Mr. Butler, or anyone representing him?
all right, so,
Okay.
we'll have,
Table the next meeting, Mr. Chairman?
I'm sorry?
Would you like a motion to table?
Yes, please, I was just,
Propose a motion to table until June 20th.
So moved.
all in favor?
Lisa, for this next one's for NEPCO, is this the one with the abutter notices were sent out by VHB?
Yes.
Okay, so I am a butter to this parcel, so under Mass General Law, chapter 268A, I must recuse myself.
Okay, review, discuss, act, new hearing, it's a notice of intent application from NEPCO, V5, U6, and S8, 115 kilowatt, I don't know what all those letters stand for, Lisa.
Okay, just so everybody knows as well, I did file a disclosure of the appearance of a conflict of interest, because I did work for VHB in the past, years and years ago, in a former life. So I did check the box where it says, I confirmed that taking into account the facts that I have disclosed, I feel that I can perform my official duties objectively and fairly. So I turned that in, and Mr. Mullen asked me to let you guys know, just so.
Is this the line right down here on 138?
Yeah, it goes through down Hart Street and across to Swansea.
It crosses 138, goes out back here, crosses center.
Yeah, why?
It's, we got a problem there. Cause they've called me out on land that I don't even own, but it's, belongs to my sister.
Okay.
There's a piece out there, so.
Well, do you own where?
So we don't
I don't own it, Jim, but they called me out on Pine Street also, and I didn't own that either. You know what I'm saying?
So, okay, but what I'm asking is, do you own either along the property, or is this just, something you're?
The property is right over here across, in Stonegate Landing. There's a small parcel in there that is right by the high tension. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I mean, the town called me out on Brook Street for the solar farm,
Yeah,
so,
Okay,
you know what I mean? I don't own the property over there, and it's near the high tension, but you know?
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. Okay, this transmission line, then, it's not, you're not gonna be adding poles or anything like that?
Well, it's a replacement project, so there'll be new poles that are replacing the existing.
Well, I would say you guys can hear it, but you can't close it until we,
Until we
what do you
find.
think, you've been in this situation before or no?
Not exactly.
Only in Dayton.
Yeah, so your property was noticed that you're a trustee on, or?
Not my property, no, it belongs to my sister.
Okay,
Are you on the abutter list? Let's check.
yeah, if you're here,
I'm not on the abutter list.
Well, hold
I
on.
wasn't on the abutter list on Brook Street,
Well, if you're not on the
but the
abutter,
selectmen called me out on it, Lisa.
but it's okay, because you know something? The assessor's office certified the abutters list. So let's take a look at it and see.
I was gonna suggest if you're not an owner, the parcel is noticed, that would represent an issue to me. Not that I'm one.
And there was also another issue that I had to do with when they called me out on. That's,
Okay.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman, in the event of emergency, perhaps you could consider taking public input out of order and allowing a discussion in the public input portion, and then in the meantime, in advance of our next meeting, there's a form that can be filed and people are including the board of selectmen to allow members who have a conflict to still vote in the absence of a quorum.
Yep, it would be the same form and I could help you.
Okay, all right.
Do you know what your lot number is? Map a lot?
Mine, it's not mine.
Well, it's the sister's.
I don't know, whatever, it'd be
What's
only
the
there.
name?
Perry,
What is it?
Perry.
Perry?
Either that or, it might be under my father's name.
I mean, if you're legally not the owner of the parcel, I don't really see an issue here.
Yeah,
So-
oh, well, I didn't either, but like I say, the town of Dayton's called me out on another parcel that I don't own.
I think if you're related to someone that owns it, there's some conflict of interest there, but I don't know what.
But I don't see where there could be any financial gain or.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
You can
there's
check
some-
the box, yep, you can fill out the form, file it with the town and check the box if you think you can vote on it with an unbiased.
I don't think there's a problem, Lisa, but like I said, I didn't think there was a problem with the other one.
Okay.
Two people in town did.
All right, Jason and Paul, you're gonna be handling, maybe either of you could fill out papers that in the interim. We'll listen to the report, you can hear it, and then we'll just continue the hearing until.
If you otherwise have no quorum, I'd be happy to file that form with the
Yeah.
selectmen and get to the next
It's
meeting.
here. I'm sorry, Adam, I
Big
didn't
a
know.
project, apparently.
Yeah, that's my father's name, not mine, that's my sister.
Yeah, so I think
Nothing
you
to do
should
with
just
me.
fill out the form like they were just saying.
Now, his name is still on it after all these
It's a
years?
trust.
Oh, it's a trust.
In his name.
Okay, okay. All right, could you make your presentation and then we'll continue it and
Okay.
do what we can for the next meeting.
We can do that. Alright.
Thank you.
Ready for me to go? Adam Rosenblatt, I work for VHB, 1 Cedar Street in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm representing
A little louder,
New England
please.
Power and Massachusetts Electric Company here as their representative. So this project, we've been before the town a couple times before for things related to this. We were before the commission back in 2021 for what was an RDA for a geotechnical investigation that was conducted to support the design of the project. And then we were here a couple months ago as part of the request, again, an RDA for what were some archaeological test pits that were being done on the line. So the project
includes 3 circuits. They're the V5, the U6, and the S8. These are all 115 kilovolt lines. The V5 and the U6 are on what we call double circuit structures, so that means both transmission lines occur on the same set of towers. And then the S8 line is on its own. So the S8 line in Dayton is predominantly supported right now by wooden H-frame structures. So they just look like an H, 2 wood poles with a crossover across the top. The majority of the V5 and U6 towers in town are all lattice towers. So those are the sort of rectus looking things. The proposal is to replace these with galvanized steel monopoles. So that's a single pole. Some will be on concrete foundations, usually at points of intersection or angles. And then the rest would be what we call directly embedded. Okay, so that's where they drill a hole, and they put the pole itself right in the ground inside the can, and they backfill with soil or gravel. So the project is roughly a 4 to 5 year construction project. The plan for them is to start with the S8 circuit, which is that individual circuit. That'll be the one that is started hopefully this fall. The plan for that would be construction between 18 to 24 months. Then they'll move over and start working on the V5, U6, which would come after that. And there may be some points where things are occurring slightly simultaneously. They're going to be working their way from south to north. So we're starting down in Somerset, near one of the old generating plants at their National Grid Pottersville substation. It's running through Swansea, then into Dayton, Berkeley, Raynhamton, and up to Bridgewater, where there's another substation. So the whole project length is roughly 20 miles. Here in Dayton, we've got about just under 5 miles, okay? The progression of construction is gonna go in a sequence of like phases of different project activities, so I'll spend a few minutes kind of going through what those are. The first thing that they do is they'll do what we call vegetation mowing. So that's sort of the prep to allow for access into the right-of-way, areas where they need to do work. They'll mow out the width of the existing right-of-way access roads to be about 20 feet, and then they'll mow their work areas around the existing structure locations where the proposed ones are, and in some places where they have what we call either work pads or wire pulling pads, or sleeve pads. These are various areas in the right-of-way that I'll explain in a few minutes. After the vegetation mowing, they'll come in and install erosion and sediment control. So predominantly on this project, we're looking at compost filter stock, which is going to be installed along any areas where there's going to be any sort of earthwork or project activity with soil disturbance. While they're installing erosion controls, they'll be starting to lay what we call temporary construction matting. So you guys have probably seen these a few times in town now. You know, the timber masts that are bolted together. They usually measure roughly like 4 by 16 feet. They lay these out temporarily along their access routes and around their structures when in wetlands or in areas with like poor soil strength to minimize disturbance and spread the weight of the vehicles and whatnot. So that they have a stable work platform to work from and also are minimizing impacts to the wetland. When the work on those work pads is completed, the plan would be for them to be removed and allow for restoration, which may simply be removal and observing the vegetation coming back. In cases where we require or we, VHB, will be the environmental monitor on the project, so we're going to be contracted to review these items weekly during construction and during restoration phases. Our inspectors are identifying that an overseeding is required. We'll do that in the wetlands where the mats are removed. That'll be a native New England wetland plant seed mix. And then they would usually then blow a weed-free straw as a mulch on the top, lightly covered. Kind of getting into restoration before I should continue, but with matting and erosion controls installed, the next phase will be coming in and doing the drilling for either the foundations that are going to be poured concrete or those directly embedded pole holes that I mentioned earlier. Following the foundation crews will come what we term the rattle cruise, well, they construct the tower and set it either on the foundation or in the hole, okay? And then following the pole setting or structure setting, then we move on to what's called the wire pulling stage. So they'll either transfer the existing conductor that's in the air to the new towers and use that conductor to pull in the new wire. Or if they're gonna leave things energized, they're gonna use messenger ropes, and pulleys to pull in a rope, and then they'll use that rope to pull in the new wires. We do have wire pulling pads that are on the plans, which are typically like at a midpoint between structures where they have to set up like their tensioning trailers, which have the big spools of wire on them. And they're pretty large. They generally run 40 to 60 feet long, and then they have like some other associated equipment there too. And those are set up also temporarily in these work areas. Once the wire's pulled in and everything's connected to the new towers and energized, then they're able to start to remove the old towers, okay? So the S8 or wood poles, the plan is to try and remove them in their entirety. Some of the poles are set in wetlands presently, and if the determination is made that they will cause more harm than good in the removal of the butt of the pole, usually the environmental monitor will make the call like, don't pull that out because you're gonna make a hell of a mess. They just cut it as close as they can and they'll, cover it over with some wetland topsoil and seed it and be done with it. For the lattice towers, they're gonna use likely with either crane or supporting, excavator with a big stick, some kind of a pincer on it to break the towers down into pieces that they can load into roll-offs and haul out of the right-of-way. The plan is for the foundation footings for the towers to be removed about 18 inches below grade. So they'll go down about 18 inches, cut everything off, and then they'll restore in kind with topsoil, wetland topsoil, if it's a structure that happens to be a wetland. Once the towers are removed, they'll formally go through with what we call sort of the final restoration, which is basically stabilizing slopes and any exposed soil surfaces with the completion of the project. But because the project's so long and it's being done in so many different phases, they will be doing that throughout. So the plan is not to just leave everything for 4 years. As a complete component of the project, the plan is to restore them in kind, shortly after they've been finished. So, for example, on the S8 circuit, there's going to be some work pad areas associated with that they won't need for the V5, V6. So the plan will be to remove that matting, restore those areas. For areas in uplands where they pushed in a gravel surface, so they have something level to work from, they would apply topsoil and then likely hydraulically apply mulch and seed to those with some type of a bonded fiber matrix or something with a tack fire shelter. Especially if you're sort of heading either out of or away from what is an appropriate part of the growing season to reestablish vegetative cover on those things. So that's sort of the process in a nutshell on the project. As I mentioned earlier, National Grid, NEP, has contracted with VHB, which is us who are doing the permitting, to serve as the environmental monitors on the project. So we'll have at least a weekly presence on site to ensure permit compliance, making sure that erosion and sediment controls are intact and functioning. What's on the plans is basically considered by us and the company to be the bare minimum required. So if there's something that we see on a week-to-week basis that requires attention or some type of a supplement, maybe that's a secondary line or adding in a water bar or something like that along the access road, we would make that recommendation to the supervisor of the project and it would get completed. So that's sort of the plan to maintain compliance. And that presence is there. We do produce weekly reports associated with that and get submitted.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions, Steve? And I'll even let others ask questions, even though you may not be able to vote, or at least not at this time.
I cannot participate in the matter at all, so I can't ask any questions until they point.
All right, I'll wait on that. Okay, anyone in the audience? Okay, would you ask for a continuance then, so that we can square things away and have a majority vote at our next meeting?
Yes, I would request a continuance with hopes that we could close it at the next hearing.
Okay, in lieu of a sure-footed quorum even now, I'm going to make an executive decision to continue the hearing till June 20th for the purpose of having a quorum vote.
So moved.
Thank you. Okay, next, going to be the 20th. I don't know, I made an executive. Okay. Okay, review and discuss a new hearing, it's an NRAD application by Antonio Almeida, TNA Realty Trust, seeking confirmation of wetland resources at 0 William Street, plan prepared by Riverhawk Environmental, map, let's see. Mass DEP file number, we don't have one yet. For those, let's see, scope and peer review services received from Weston and Sampson in the amount of $8,300. For those of you wondering, this is way down in the Somerset, was it Seekonk line, Somerset line on William Street.
That one near Sharp's Lot and all that.
And near, where Jimmy Souza lives, near there. It's,
That's on,
okay, is anyone here representing, okay.
I don't have an easel, I apologize. For the record, my name is Bob Rigo, I'm with Riverhawk Environmental, we're civil engineers for the project. So basically, it's on the parcel on the easterly side of William Street. Down Hunter's Hill development is down to the south of it, I don't know if that helps anything. The whole property in its entirety is 80.4 acres, thereabouts. We're looking to just have the front portion, the resource areas on the front portion of the property delineated. The rest, the rear portion over here, the property is kind of cut off from the rest of the site by a big chunk of wetlands, which we don't intend to crossing. So all work, when we do get to proposing it, will be in the area where we're having the resource areas delineated. The wetland resource areas were delineated by LEC. There's a bordering vegetated wetland, which is on the southwestern portion of the site. There's a flag numbers A series that go to D series and then an H series to finish out to the property owner here. There is a vernal pool located inside of that wetland resource area. That vernal pool was confirmed by Brad Holmes of Environmental Consulting Restoration. There's another bordering vegetated wetland on the easterly part of the site, which kind of bisects the site from the two halves. That was delineated as B1 through B96, I think, so there's 96 flags around that. And again, within that area, there's a vernal pool that was identified and confirmed by Brad.
I bet there's multiple vernal pools in that one.
In this section?
Yeah, no, I mean, the one you pointed to there.
It's kind of a big flat area that holds water, yeah, so yeah.
Now, is that area, not showing the wetlands, is that farmland that?
This was formerly farmland, yeah, this is kind of a house here in the middle and the property wraps around that house and it was.
You're the property owner on that one, is it listed there?
James Souza.
Okay, all right, so I'm exactly
Yeah,
where
it wraps right around.
Yeah,
this property,
okay.
yes, yep. And then the last resource area, which is I think by local bylaw, is an isolated vegetated wetland on the northwestern portion of the property, right alongside the river. And that doesn't, I don't believe, at least that meets the state, the wetlands protection definition of the wetland, but it does fall under the local jurisdiction as a.
It Is there a culvert under the road anywhere there? Do you know?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, maybe by the next time you can find out if there's.
Confirm if there's a connection
Yeah, either there or at the south,
over here.
Okay,
Megan is here from Weston and Sampson, but she hasn't gotten the go on this. I believe you guys just turned in the.
I believe the, I'm not sure if you received it yet, but the applicant was gonna
We got
send
it on Monday.
Yeah, okay, so do you have a signed copy now?
Yes, I believe so, I think I saw it.
Yesterday,
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Yep, so we'll get that scheduled.
okay. Do you people have any questions right now? It's gonna be reviewed by Weston and Sampson.
Does anyone here have any questions?
Maureen, can you please request a W-9 from the applicant?
I already have it.
Perfect.
Yep.
Initially, just looking at that, if, you know, you could put a note that I know this lot goes further to the east.
Yep.
If you could put a note on the plan that like these additional resources this way.
There is
Oh,
pretty it's small, we can make it bigger, but
yeah,
yeah, it
it's
says,
just on the inset, so.
yeah, it is there.
Or maybe put a note up top in the notes, you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
Yep.
And are you planning to certify any of the vernal pools?
No,
Okay.
we'll treat them as certified vernal pools for planning purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see,
Okay,
probably fine.
any questions or any questions from the audience?
Not at this stage.
Hmm?
Not at this stage.
Well, not, right, okay, is there a motion to continue?
Do we need to accept the scope of peer review services as well?
That'd be great.
Motion to accept the scope of peer review services received from Weston and Sampson in the amount of $8,300.
So moved. All in favor?
Aye. And are you looking for a motion to continue this to next meeting?
Yes.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Bob, could you just sign this on the way out? Great.
Okay. I thought that was already approved, the Weston and Sampson budget.
I wasn't sure if it was, but it's definitely approved now.
Okay, all right, yes. Okay, we have a certificate of compliance request for 1550 Maple Street, file number 17233.
You posted it on speaker. Yeah.
Lisa, is everything
1550 Maple Street. So yeah, this one is one that came for certificate of compliance last year, and I had done a site visit and observed that there was cutting in the 25-foot no touch. The owner agreed to plant some, and actually it was a previous owner with the owner.
Yeah.
And so they did some plantings out there, I wanna say 16 shrubs. And I went out and looked at them, they're thriving.
Okay.
They're no longer mowing that area, so if you guys are amenable, then you can sign the certificate of compliance in your folder.
Okay, is there a motion to issue a certificate of compliance?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, a request for a certificate of compliance from 2795 Lewis Street, file number 7.
I believe the address is wrong, it's 2759.
2759, okay.
Okay, correction.
I read it wrong, 2759, file number 17295.
So this one, I had been out there last year, let me just review this for a second. When was your house built?
2008.
So. House was built in 2008, there's an order of conditions, obviously. This is the existing conditions plan, which differs from the original approved plan. You can see here that two thousand 18. Here's the site. October 2018. September 2014, and April 2024. See the differences? So the approved plan had the leach field house. I'm not sure if it had what that looks like.
Was,
This is the approved plan. Alright, so you've got the septic, the dwelling, the garage. You don't have any clearing, actually you don't have the tree line on here. You have an existing
Okay, all right.
barn out at the 25-foot no touch, and you have a well. And this is what's actually out there, so I do not recommend, and I told Pauline this last year, I wouldn't recommend a certificate of compliance until we dealt with the violations.
okay, they worked a bit within, was it the 25 or the 50 foot?
Both.
And that's the pool that they did. There's also more structures that were built in the,
Yeah, they can see it's been clear from.
was that the 50? So this is gonna be the one, this is gonna be the,
I suggested this is also that.
is that it there? Okay, so this is 50. They put in a barn in the 50 foot.
No, still that barn was there when I bought the property.
Oh, free, existing, okay.
That barn was there when I bought the property.
So they built in the 50 foot. Oh, no, actually, this is the, Lisa, the pink one is what?
25.
25, and that's 100.
Yeah.
So they put the pool in the no-build zone.
Pool and patio. Maybe even the deck, but I don't think so.
Okay, so what we need to do then is look for some compensation on the wetland side. The restoration, I should say, maybe that's a bad word, restoration. Restoration.
The NAM map is really great, because you can go
yeah.
back. Did you guys wanna see these ones and switch them, or?
No, okay,
I don't know.
yeah, they're quite, they are similar. Have you offered any suggestions to them about?
No, I haven't, Bob hasn't reached out, and quite frankly, I meant to call him today, and I did not get a chance.
He was supposed to be,
He was?
replies.
Maybe he's at the other building. Do you want me to try to call him?
You could.
Do you think he likes the zipper or anything? Have to joke about it.
Maybe the fried dough.
See here. Have his number.
This is the one we just looked at.
Mr. Chairman, just to keep things on track, I just shot a text to the town administrator because I wanted to be sure. I know that the alarm for this building automatically comes on at a certain point.
Yeah.
He just got back and said he believes it's 10 p.m. So I just wanted to just keep things on track.
Okay, all right, 10 p.m. the alarm goes on.
Thank you.
Okay, we will try to push things on a little faster then. Okay, we're gonna look for some restoration in some of the land. You're gonna have to get an environmentalist to look at what you have done and where you can create new wetlands to replace what the area you have worked in. I guess Lisa, would you
He's not answering.
would you be available to give him advice, let's say on Monday?
Yeah, I mean.
Since the alarm is gonna go on at 10, I wanna go
Oh, yeah.
quick.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is
I can
the,
talk to Bob and we can figure out a time to come and sit down and actually.
yeah, did any of you guys wanna do a site visit? I mean, is that necessary, or do you, cause I've
The
been
picture
there.
shows exactly what,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's,
measure this,
These are great.
figure out what maybe,
Where did you put that baby?
okay,
The one you just signed.
just hand it back to him,
I'm sorry?
just hand it back to him.
Oh, you did. Oh, maybe it got stuck in one of these papers.
What are you looking for?
Lisa, take it?
There it is.
So, but we're not, yeah, let me take it, cause I'm gonna put it in the file, I have all the paperwork everywhere.
Okay, that, okay.
So for the time being, would you be looking for a motion to table?
Motion to table, there we go.
Anytime?
Motion to table.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for us?
not really, I told the guy who put the pool in that he couldn't put the pool in unless he got it signed off on, so.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he put the pool in without getting it signed off.
Oh, yeah, so,
Okay,
okay,
I told him he couldn't put it in if he didn't get the sign off, so.
maybe he didn't get it from conservation.
Told him Charlie Mello signed off.
See, we
okay.
don't have any like paperwork on that, but.
All right,
Second?
yes, motion made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that's, okay, you're done for now.
Thank you.
Now we have a request for a certificate of compliance for 2808 Maple Swamp Road, file number 17233.
Lisa, do you need anything else from me?
Nope.
No.
Yep, just have Bob give me a call Monday, all right?
Will do, thanks.
Thank you. So Mr. Prairie is not here, however, the house is built, the site is stabilized, and I recommend, and everything looks good, the posts are actually up with the placards, everything looks great. So, yeah, really good.
Looks really good.
Yeah. All stabilized.
Okay,
Yeah.
is there a motion to issue a certificate of compliance?
Motion to issue certificate of compliance for 2808 Maple Swamp Road, file number 0170233.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have been talking about a draft for the bylaws.
Well, let's just back up 1 second on that one. Is you took photos and they show our placards and
Yeah.
like how we would like, them. So I think if we wanted to have some photos for something like the newsletter or something, that might be one, David,
Okay.
If they look nice, under Nancy Goulart, it might end up in the next stormwater calendar.
That's a good point,
Okay.
alright.
Okay, right now we have a list of changes that we're gonna make for the bylaws. They have not been put into our format, but Maureen, this is gonna be done in over our bylaws, right,
I'm gonna place them right in and then I'll highlight the changes when I
Okay.
email them to you guys. So
okay, let me just read what's gonna go in there, then you will be able to see it. We'll get copies out to each of you. But it's gonna be, the Wetland Act, it's gonna be a fee for the bylaw, a local fee of $50, payable to DCC. Right now, there is no fee. A consultant's fee scheduled for applicants, and that will be, coming up. Setback, vernal pool, potential vernal pool should hold special protection, and really, we have that already, Lisa, all the pools will have a mitigation corridor. This is the big change. All the pools have a mitigation corridor of at least 100 feet and shall be a natural and undisturbed. Minor activity exemptions, and that would be utilities, coordination with other boards. Edit section 5 to include DPW review prior to approval. And edit section 7 to remove prior to effective. And again, this is all gonna come out in writing, these are just the items that are gonna be put into the new bylaw, the new suggestion. Consultant fees will be determined by peer review personnel along with DCC. It'll be based upon lot size and flagging numbers. And unpaid enforcement fines will be attached on personal property tax until paid.
Are there any other ones you guys?
I don't know, I wrote down a lot of hand ones, but
I have them.
everybody will be, wanna pass that back to Lisa. We're all gonna get the bylaws as they exist with the new items added in highlighted. So, and then we can make additional changes, as we see fit and how it flows in.
The one bylaw change I would really like to see would be to make any activity exempt under the local bylaw that is exempt under the Wetland Protection Act. We've seen several filings in the past where it's local filing only and there's no DEP file number because it's exempt. I think it might be more efficient if we were to create a concurrent exemption, so exemption from the Wetland Protection Act could be an exemption from the local
Okay,
bylaw.
one thing that pops into my mind, the DEP law on vernal pools is 100 feet, whereas we have the vernal pool 100 feet and then another 100 feet protection. So in that case there, they would have to file under it.
Right, well, this would be an exempt, like something that's specifically exempt from the Wetland Protection Act.
Okay, all right, that,
Yeah, the only thing I would say is, so septic
Septic replacement without significant enlargement is exempt under
Yeah,
Wetland
so without
Protection Act. That
enlargement.
should probably be exempt under the local bylaw too.
The only thing I would say with that one is, I ran across a couple of instances where I feel like it would be better if I was notified on the repairs, because I could help them, guide them into a better location on the site away from any buffer zone disturbance or riverfront disturbance. So maybe we just, without enlargement, we have to just kind of talk about
okay, well, that can, when we get it, you can handwrite it in and we'll make additional changes as we go along.
Okay, but for the next meeting, do you want us to, we'll list out what's exempt under the Wetlands Protection Act so we can discuss those items?
Yeah, that'd be great, I'd say,
Okay.
so the selectmen will probably close the warrant for the special town meeting, Lenny, will probably sometime, some October-ish.
I'm sorry? Yes.
There's
The special meeting?
Yes. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we wouldn't be ready before then.
Right.
Yeah, I have a note in here, have everything by September to, Board of Selectmen.
Yeah, that's a good timeline, that gives us a good really 4 meetings, I guess, depending when it's September, we get them in, right?
Yeah, that's a.
Because
Okay.
last year was September 15th from all the articles had to be in.
Okay, perfect, so we have at least 3 meetings, then in worst case scenario, we have a special.
Yeah, and we should be able to get a lot done by the next meeting and on the bylaws and continue. Okay, we have a draft coordination between town permitting authorities and projects issued. In your package, you have request for preliminary review. I don't know if you want to look that over.
Is this the document that we've reviewed in the past, Lisa?
I don't think so, did you?
No.
This is, so this I got from Swansea uses it. Swansea
Oh, I
has
thought
one.
this was the Western and Sampson recommendation. No, that's what I think it was.
Alright, so this is, so what I did was I have drafted for Dayton, and it might be something in PAC, we discussed it preliminarily, and I guess it should go before the Board of Selectmen maybe, I don't know. But I just want you guys to talk about it,
Yeah, if it's gonna become a, like, part of the town policy, it doesn't have to be determined by the selectmen, but we could definitely look
like
at it.
a permit procedure,
Right.
SOP kind of.
Right, we can make a recommendation based on what we discussed.
We should probably wait for him, yeah, we can.
We got a deadline,
A deadline?
a long time, why?
We'll wait. Yeah. I think we'll make the deadline. I think we'll make it a half hour early.
Wishful thinking.
We didn't do anything because you left.
Oh, okay.
Lisa, would you like me to pass this around now?
Yeah, I mean, they each have.
Oh, okay, okay, I'm sorry, thank you.
We're all, did everyone see the page on the request for preliminary review? Okay, was anything done on it?
No, I'm waiting for you.
Okay. What do you think, shall we take it and look at it and then put it on next week, next month for a vote?
Yeah, no, I really like this. I really like this.
Yeah, well, I do too.
Yeah, an ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. This is a really good.
Well, then you wanna do it now, then from a draft to,
Yeah, I feel like if there's any question about anything, we could put that on our webpage, and then if someone had, do you have a question?
No,
You like
I
it?
just started to read it.
Yeah, then, but I think we should actually get the Board of Selectmen's input on it.
I mean, there's no way anything can get messed up or dropped.
Yeah,
Nothing can fall through the cracks with this.
right, and that's what's done,
And
like
then when
I
it
said.
comes to this from the audience, they're like.
Yeah.
All right.
Right,
shall we approve it tonight then?
that would be great, and then we can try to get it on the Board of Selectmen's agenda,
Okay.
if that's what you guys wanna do.
Motion to approve preliminary review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Maybe voted on it.
Okay, did I skip that one, draft coordination for town permitting?
I think we did skip that one.
Okay, all right. Oh, we did the draft,
I wasn't looking.
we just did the review, discuss that conservation letter to a company. That's the one we just worked on.
Yes, yes.
Okay, bills payable. A motion to pay,
Well, instead of bills payable, do you wanna go back to the coordination, you wanna take this out of order, and do you guys wanna just skip down to the other people that are here, so we can take care of that?
Good idea.
Okay. So you want me to call 2371?
Yes,
Okay. I started reviewing that, so you guys know.
Oh, we have, are you talking about 2371 County?
Yeah.
We do have a couple of other, oh, that's under the agent, is sort of the updates. First, or do you wanna finish the?
Up to you guys.
well, we got about three quick ones to do, I think.
All right, you think they're quick? Sure.
Okay, the bills payable, is there a motion to pay all bills as received? We have bills from Beta, WB Mason, and another one from Beta. $747, $333.31 from Beta, and Mason was $37.98. Motion made,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Want to pass that to Lisa? Okay. Reorganization of the Conservation Commission and 2025 fiscal year signature authorization. Okay, it has not been done judiciously in the past, but as I would like to see a vote for chairman of the commission to be made every single year in April or May. This is just before the reappointments are made by the selectmen. Okay, is there a motion for someone to be put forth for chairman of the commission?
Motion to reappoint Jim Digits as chairman of the Conservation Commission.
Second.
And I will accept. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now, right now, we have Paul, I would be a signature for bills, and we have Paul as backup. Do we wish that same situation, since Paul is there at the town hall all the time?
Yes.
Okay, someone make a motion that Paul be back up to signature on bills and other legal notices.
Make a motion for Paul Reynolds to be second in command.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have an application, a volunteer application for the Conservation Commission by Abel Mariano. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Isn't this meeting wonderful? You sure you still want to be? Absolutely. Yeah, this is a hectic one, that's not just coming here. Okay, we have read your application, and, we do a lot of, things in the town, good things, no pay.
I'm used to that.
Okay, do you have anything you want to say about, why you want to be on the commission?
Well, I've always been interested in, the Wetlands Protection Act, and I've been involved with the EPA and other environmental groups in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. We just finished a restoration job in Sharon, Massachusetts, so it's sort of a passion of mine.
Yeah, very good, very good. Anyone have any questions?
No question, I read through Mr. Mariano's resume, it's very impressive. I think that you'd be a fantastic addition to the commission.
Okay, now what would happen is, you would become an associate member, and you would, we'll nominate you, approve you from the commission, then your name will go to the selectmen to become an associate member. Then you and Maureen, when this occurs, to present Abel's name to the selectmen, I also want on there, Lenny Hull's name to go as well, as a reminder that he is also been approved, so we will have 2 associate members. Okay, is there a motion then to accept Abel as an associate member to the commission?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, your name will be forwarded to the selectmen to be an associate member. And then whenever one of us resigns, retires, croaks, whatever,
You're never confused.
Yeah, it gets thrown off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Well done.
okay, and our next meeting is the 20th of June. And behind you is Lenny, I think you probably know him. He has already been approved, and I don't know why the selectmen haven't brought him up, but we will ask the 2 officers to be appointed at the same time to as associate members. What will happen is when you're here, if there is someone like we had where 2 or 3 people can't vote because of possible conflict of interest, you would be brought in as a voting member with vote.
That's a great bylaw.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we put
But you
that
gotta
down
make
as a
that
bylaw.
bylaw change, you can't just,
Yeah.
What?
you have to write it up as a bylaw change to be voted on.
Okay, all right.
So like associate member.
All right, you got that, right, Lisa?
We changing the world tonight, or?
Oh, I think we are,
Okay.
Okay,
Lenny, are you gonna help us write that up real quick?
No problem.
Okay. So can you email us the exact language it should be?
Okay. Because the assessors told me do that. The assessors, not the assessors, I'm sorry. ZBA already has something in place.
Oh, perfect, so we just got a copy.
Yeah.
I have
But I did tweak it a
but
bit.
now, does it have to go to the bylaw, or do we just have to vote on it?
All this,
What? It would have to go with the bylaw change.
does it?
Oh, okay.
Well, you know everything.
Well,
You're next chairman.
No, we can only do what the bylaw authorizes us to do, doesn't authorize us to change the status of the non-voting associate member.
Okay,
alright.
all right, you're
So
on.
this will be on the fall meeting.
2371 County Street. You have a plan for us for restoration of properties.
Yeah, so, I had left off, the plan for West End area.
Yeah.
Actually,
So, as you guys know, I was out with my husband for his surgery, and then I finally got a chance to review this, and I was hoping that, Mr. D'Souza and I could sit down before the meeting, but we haven't been able to, and I think we were away.
Yeah,
That's enough.
I had a couple of,
Okay.
I was out, a couple of different states, actually, I just got back, from, Mississippi, last night, or yesterday, morning. Yesterday morning. Wouldn't know anymore. So I know that, I would like to get together, with Lisa to go over the wetland vegetation because of, what we're proposing, for that area. Make sure that it is kosher, and I just wanna make sure that, everybody understands of what the plan of attack is, effectively, to a little bit more. There's another half to this sheet.
You guys can take those home if you want, and then, if you
Yeah, I
want.
have enough color copies for everybody, so, we gotta wanna do some homework.
Yeah, so my initial comments, are to add a legend for the symbols. I mean, we can go over them, but
Yeah.
add a legend, calculate the disturbance numbers.
Yep.
Final disturbance, area calculation, and then add notes on the removal and sequence, 'cause-
Okay.
and then,
Yeah, well, we can do what's known as the construction sequence as well.
okay. Yeah, because you just have the planting notes, but you don't have like,
Yeah, and actually that's something that I kind of wanted to go over with you, just lay the steps out and.
okay.
So that
Hopefully
way-
we can have it all hashed out before next meeting.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, so if we could, have a meeting like within 2 weeks, or then that way we can take care of this.
Yeah, let's set up a date now because we're both busy, right? But we do have a question for you. We were wondering if there was activity there now because the DPW reported to me that they had driven by and saw some work going on in the backyard.
So, yeah,
It was work up that was close to the house, was more than 100 feet from the wetlands. I have I have a photograph of the work that was done. I actually was gonna have it printed and I did, John's Zajac on behalf of Mr. Hayes. But I can show you what it was. It was a wall that was taken out, cinder block wall that was close to the house.
Yeah, that wall that he's referring to is actually right here. So it's way up, I had to pass 100 feet.
Okay,
This wall.
Lisa, this is something that's gonna take,
Okay, so that wall is, sorry, where is it?
That's right here.
That's that wall?
That's that wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 100,
The 100 foot is back in here.
okay.
Way, it's,
1 inch equals 20.
yeah.
Yeah. Alright,
It's way up.
And my client was in contact with the building inspector, so he was aware of it. He actually authorized it. Show you what it was.
Yeah, okay, no, I'm just talking about the work that what they're doing, so let's see.
are you sure?
Didn't go at the bottom of the hole, did it?
No. Just joking.
So if the scale is 1 inch equals 20, horizontally, I'm not sure that it was outside the 100 here, but, are you sure?
So 100 feet, yeah.
You have a scale?
No. So the 100 foot is way back in here.
I've got that, actually got good thing.
I got a question for you. You said it was somebody from the DPW. Who was it? Was it another anonymous,
Nope, it was Mr. Ferry,
I really asked him.
yeah.
Yeah.
No anonymous.
Okay.
In the future though, it would be best if you could contact us, but, you know, especially where there's a violation on the property,
If you
so.
got a problem, talk to the building inspector.
There's the, right here, so it's 1 inch equals 50. So it's pretty close to 100. But anyways, so. But so you don't propose any more work in the backyard until, I mean,
That wall's coming down.
it's coming down right
Yes.
now?
It's falling down on its own. The building inspector's giving me permission to knock it down.
Yeah, it's already got a reverse canter on it, so it's about to go.
slump, I think they call it, right?
Well,
The land's slumping. No,
yeah, and the land is slumping, and on the engineering side, we call it a reverse canter, but that's okay.
So what is gonna go there?
I have no idea.
What do you mean what's not going there?
Well, you have a retaining wall there now.
Yeah, so it's gonna be gone. Retaining wall's gonna be
So
gone.
you're
There's gonna be
gonna-
earth there.
You say you're gonna gently,
Jesus. Huh?
you're gonna gently slope that
Yeah.
part and it will.
It has nothing to do with what's going on. It's far enough away from anything you consider environmental right now.
Well, we should probably do a site visit with the.
Nobody's going on the property anymore unless you got a court order to get on the property.
In order to enforce
If
this,
you
we
wanna come on the
are,
property again, go to court and get a court order.
through the enforcement order and through this, we are allowed, and that's one of the conditions.
Yeah. Without,
And,
But what happens is we'll go with,
Yeah, we'll go with Mr. D'Souza.
What's that?
So, once we finalize this plan, or maybe, I don't know if the guys wanna go in the meantime, once they've had a chance to digest it, they would like a site visit, is what Jim's saying.
Well, what we can do is, we can do a preemptive site visit before any work starts, so everybody can see exactly what's there.
Okay.
And then once the work starts, you will be getting the reports, for the work. As it, how progressive we'll probably do either weekly or bi-weekly, because of the way it is.
Now, in the beginning, you made a comment, and way in the beginning, you could enter my property anytime you wanted to. That's not gonna happen, because I'll be standing there. That's right, you want an incident in this town, again, I'll be standing there protecting my property. You want to get a judge to say you can come on my
We're gonna
property.
be on site, basically during the whole,
Just to watch
Okay.
everything on.
well, yeah, because of the slope,
Yeah.
that,
it's gonna be dangerous to work on, so be careful.
Yeah.
So, okay.
In order
We'll
for
give you
the
up there.
permission to approve this though, I mean, I would not suggest you guys approve any restoration plan without being able to walk on the property. It would, obviously you need to notify him when you be there, but I think that someone should be able to go to the property and view it. I've never experienced a violation that you could not walk on.
Well, that's part of the orders.
Well, there's no official order because it's not a notice of intent.
Yeah, okay, all right,
And there's no
follow.
real certificate of compliance either.
Well, my nephew told you not come back on his property. Without a court order, Whitmore.
It's worth noting that as of July 1st, the Dayton Transfer Station will no longer accept construction debris. And given the history of the site, I would say that with that in mind, we should pay close attention to the level of fill that's currently there.
Yeah,
To
so-
monitor it over time.
So I was gonna ask just a quick question. You people have been on the property enough times now, I've seen everything already. There's nothing else to see there.
Well, this slope has to get stabilized first of all, so a portion of that has to come out.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
asking. That's what I'm
so
asking.
Where it goes,
Lisa,
that's another.
I'm not talking about where it goes,
First,
I just
I've
want to
been
know
there
what's
enough
there, it's
times
not gonna promote.
that I know what
Right,
is
so
there.
As far as where you're coming back to get.
Right, so
Why don't we ask this
it's gonna get
scenario?
revegetated, it's gonna get reshaped, and so it'll be sloped.
So we have a third
Okay,
party.
so re-slope
suggestion.
it, taking material out, bringing correct
Well,
material in.
we're gonna remove some material, we're gonna reshape it, bring in some material, get it sloped.
Do you have an exact amount of what you're removing, not pertaining to what you just said?
Well,
That's one thing we're looking, I think I said I was looking for
yeah,
an area.
on
adjustment.
the area, the volume count, so
Yeah.
we have to do the volume count
Okay.
still.
Okay,
But we have the slope projected on it, obviously we couldn't do every single contour line, because
yeah.
we wouldn't be able to read the plan.
Very
Especially in the area.
So,
Okay.
but, we'll get you the volume calc of what's.
Yeah, cool. That's the only thing I saw in the physical logistical aspects of redoing it or getting this
So-
established to grow.
Yeah.
That was your question, right?
That was,
We-
Okay.
I mean, if you wanted to, scenario, very well versed
Yeah.
restoration.
Yeah, okay, all right.
The plan's gonna require a few changes, like we said, so if, John and I can set a date, what's good for you?
what do you have open, first, June?
The beginning of June, like next week,
Yeah.
believe it or not? Alright,
It's just as a reminder, Mr. Chairman, the alarm coming on at 10.
I know, and I gotta redo all the chairs in here too.
Yeah, I think we should adjourn no later than 9:45.
That was, okay, that's.
Wednesday or Thursday?
Should we do, Thursday morning?
Yeah. You wanna say
Okay.
10 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't need any continuation here, just,
Oh, wait a minute.
okay.
Yeah, June 6th.
Lisa, is this your?
Abel, maybe you can weigh in, since you've done a lot of restoration too, maybe you can weigh in with, Lisa sometime before her meeting with this.
Did you wanna come to the meeting?
Sure.
I'd love to have the input, that would be great.
When,
Thursday at 10 a.m. Lower level of 979 Somerset Ave, Town Hall. Okay, looking forward to it.
All right, okay. So we'll see you as a group, on the 20th of June, all right?
Coming in very much.
Okay, 1035 William Street, letter issued, site visit with Outback Engineering. Site visited, on 7/6/23. We had a public hearing on 4/20/23 and closed with the denial on 7/20. Then, let's see, review, discuss, act, enforcement order issued and signed by agent on 10/26/23. And it has been unclaimed and served by a constable. The enforcement order has been recorded at the registry of deeds. Okay, nothing on that one. John, okay, next we have John Buffington.
Go to the end.
Yeah.
That's 0 Horton Street.
Put me at the end, please.
What, at the end?
Yes.
Well, okay.
Just go ahead, do it at the end.
Yeah. No problem.
My goodness, are we almost
He's
there?
a good.
Oh.
Okay.
Lisa, why don't you just start with these and go as quickly as you can, because we gotta get everything done by 9:45.
Oh, that's fine.
We're on 1420.
1420, we did send a letter out, letting the owner know on, it was a certified letter on May 2nd regarding this, clarifying that the agricultural exemptions versus the bylaw requirements are different. So we did send, as a matter of fact, the same letter to the other farm property that you guys had asked me to send it to, so. We did get a signed copy back from each of them, signed green card. And then moving on to 1033 Oak Street. So I did meet with Mr. Watson, the engineer, and we have agreed, this can be handled to an enforcement order. An enforcement order has been drafted for this and it's ready for your signature. They're prepared to come to the next meeting. So they're gonna come to the 6:20 meeting, and prior to that, they're gonna submit a restoration plan. We'll need a site visit as well.
Okay, so do we need to open the enforcement order?
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion to issue an enforcement order at 33 Oak Street?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Aye.
All in favor? Okay. Okay, Lisa, what Harris Lane?
Okay, so I don't know if Dave wants to take over on this one, go ahead.
I was out there on Monday and met Pat and went over all the plantings that she is going to put on her property. And everything looks pretty positive and moving forward.
They're all native, they're gonna be dug in by hand. She's gonna
Yep, no
contact
machine.
us for a site visit after she's done. Yep.
Okay.
Great.
29 Wheeler Street.
No update, right, Maureen?
No, that's what you have there. 1354 Tremont.
So, yeah, Dave and I went out yesterday with the new owner who is maintaining the erosion controls. The grass is up. It's probably 80% coverage with the lawn.
Yeah, looks really good.
Yeah.
We congratulated the new owner from Pawtucket into Dayton.
Yeah.
And he's amazed at the sounds that he hears.
Yeah. He had put.
Frogs?
Yeah.
And the new owner applied for a pool permit. I measured the area and it's outside the 200 foot.
Great.
I signed off on the building permit for the pool today. And Mr. Oliver has agreed to come to the next meeting to further discuss the vernal pool. However, when Dave and I circled the vernal pool, we didn't see any species. I didn't know if you guys would take a ride by, say on a rainy night, slowly, and see if you hear anything, maybe the guy with the electric car, you know?
Oh, those are these.
Sorry. Well, I'll tell you, I start hearing them at soon as at dusk, and I know they're everywhere, the frogs.
Well, I mean, we also got confirmation from Mr. Oliver saying that he's been hearing all kinds of things at night.
Well, no, Mr. Oliver wasn't there. You mean the new owner?
The new owner.
Yeah, but that could come from anywhere.
Okay.
But you think.
Yep.
Surrounded by woods.
Okay, 2470 Pleasant Street.
24/7. Yes, the owner is here. Yeah, Eric, do you wanna introduce yourself? Great.
I'm Eric Lott, I'm the owner of the home at 2470. I moved into the home, moved into the home in 2020, and upon moving in, realized there was an area behind my home that was the former railroad tracks, and that some fill had been put into that area around the railroad tracks. It causes the water to back up, that would naturally drain down the back of the property. Talked with DPW and Conservation Committee, we're up.
Oh, it was stormwater,
Stormwater,
yeah.
about 2 years ago, and we talked about mitigation efforts of essentially getting some of that fill out of there in order for the water to flow naturally. Here, this is a continuation of that process where.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys wanna do a site visit, cause you guys have never been there, if they're allowed to walk on your property.
Well, when you are going, let us know, and if we can, we'll.
I heard the 20th, you'll
Yeah.
get the 20th property, so would you like to come across?
Make a field trip.
Footprint.
Field trip.
Going Pleasant, are you coming down Main Street, are you before the boat ramp or after? After, so
Yeah.
South from.
I am south, I'm just south of the property that was just discussed. Got it, okay, understood.
And he's just north of Hart Street.
Oh, okay, I know,
The house, it's set back, right?
Set back. Yeah, I know what that is.
Nice spot.
So I can be at the property on the 20th if
Yeah.
if the committee's already
Oh, well,
planned.
the 20th is our next meeting here.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was the date?
We don't
Just-
have a site
oh.
visit for that set up, unfortunately, but we will, I think, after we've maybe finalized this plan. So do you guys wanna maybe set a site visit for this one, or
Yeah, sure.
do you wanna do it for 2 weeks, cause next week's kinda busy now? Let's look at the week of the 9th.
So if possible, the school day, the week of the 17th would be ideal, but,
Okay,
cause my wife can be at the property.
okay, that's the week of our meeting, so.
That would be good, because that second week of June is the same week as town meeting, so that's gonna be,
Okay.
and then I'm off that, Thursday the 13th, I'm off as well.
You're off when?
I'm gonna be out of office, Thursday, June 13th.
Okay, So which date's good for you to meet? Is there
I
anyone?
believe the homeowner just said that the following week after that, is that right, sir?
Yeah.
Week from the 12th to the 18th, is that right?
Why is it?
I think it's the 17th through the 20th. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, 17th through, sorry about that. I reopened the calendar and I went back to the meeting.
Can anyone meet on,
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I got you, I got you.
we have a
I know what you're
stormwater meeting on the 19th.
saying. Back to back.
Can anyone meet,
The 19th is Juneteenth, that's gonna end up.
June 19th.
closed, yep. Thank you. How about Tuesday, the 18th?
Yeah.
Is anyone available Tuesday, the 18th?
Yeah.
For a site visit, rain or shine? Say 3 p.m. or 2:30?
2:30.
Okay. 2:30 p.m., Tuesday, the 18th, does that work? Okay. And your address is? Sorry, we have so many.
24740.
Okay, thank you.
Is it 2:30?
Yeah. Did you want to join us?
I won't be able to on that.
Oh, okay.
I would love to, but
We'll take photos. Actually, you can look at aerials too if you want.
thank you.
Yeah, that won't be overly long, right? I'll just do it during my lunch break.
Okay. Do you want us to do it earlier?
2:30 is fine.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
Yep.
710 Center Street.
He is not here for an update. Did you speak with him or? Thank you.
No, I left one message, but I'm still waiting to get his email, so I'll follow up again on.
Okay.
880 Hot Street.
Monday.
An enforcement order was drafted for your signature.
Okay, we need a vote
Did you
on.
guys wanna see the aerials for this?
I don't need to see the area.
Okay. So just as a reminder, you probably see it on the agenda, but, on February 1st, 23, we sent a letter about some cutting. We were trying to locate
Yeah.
some cattle out there, and we told them he needed to get it flagged, they got it all flagged. And then we told them, what they could and couldn't do at a meeting. Since then, these are the aerials. For you guys to look at.
And this is post,
It's the fill area in the northeast corner of the property, the northeast of the house.
northeast or northwest, okay,
Yeah, northeast.
all right, northeast, okay. Okay, that's,
This is present.
So, Mr. Chairman, are you looking for a motion to issue the enforcement order?
yes, motion, okay, made the motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Uh, 1070 Smith Street.
Yeah, I think the owner's here.
How you doing, everybody? I'm the owner of 1070 Smith Street, John Moreo. This is my son Ethan Moreo, which is gonna be the new resident over there.
Hello.
Welcome.
So we were contacted about some cutting being done over there, so Dave and I took a ride and we took a walk, there was some contractors there and we walked around, and then we did send you a letter, it was a certified letter.
Correct.
All right, I think I emailed it to your wife as well.
Yeah, you probably did. Yeah.
Okay,
Please.
so it appears, so there's two wetlands that I can see, one of, on Smith Street to the south.
Separates my neighbor, yeah, the south.
Yeah, south, and then there's one to the northwest of the garage. So there's two wetlands, and at least one of them is a vernal pool, maybe both of them. But I think they proposed to do a lot of changes to the property, so including some landscaping, and they've cleared, how much would you say you cleared on that one?
Well, basically where we knocked some trees down, we had 2 structures there already, so apparently the place was on probate for a few years, so everything was just overgrown. So what happened was we went there and revamped the place for my son, but at the same time, everything was just growing on top of the structures. So I went by my plot plan, which my plot plan said to the left, which is on the south side, on Smith Street, that's all the wetlands that I had. So where I cut the trees down, that's where there's 2 structures there, so, which I wasn't indicated that basically there was wetlands there because there's 2 structures there. So everything we cut was just stuff that was overgrown on top of the 2 structures, so.
Problem of using the DEP wetland mapping versus,
Yeah,
yeah.
I guess it's a little different from Rehoboth, because I live in Rehoboth, and usually we go by a plot plan, and usually that's what we go by, but, you know, and at the same time, there was 2 structures there, so I'm assuming that there was no wetlands there.
No. Pictures of this? Unfortunately, it was like the Wild West previously, yeah, they're right here.
Yeah.
How far from the structures did you cut?
Maybe 4, 5, 6 feet.
Oh, well, he cut 4 or 5, 6 feet off the structure, but he cut, I would say
Probably
100
another
feet.
6, probably another 6 on the other side of the other structure, and then another 6 on the other side of the
But
road.
how many square feet? A lot of trees.
But he didn't go far away from the structure?
No, absolutely not.
Just asking.
So the cutting is, this is the house.
Yep.
And the cutting is, the wetlands, there's a wetland here.
Yep.
And there's a wetland here.
And the structure's still there, sir?
And the cutting
Yeah.
is all here, this whole area.
One's pretty much a garage, a foundation, which they thought I just put up the garage because everything looks so new. So they thought I'd put a garage up on the wetlands.
That's exactly what we thought when we went there.
So it's been up already since the structure of the house back in the 90s, I think it was 97. And then the shed doesn't have a foundation to it, but they had it on cinder blocks, which, what I did, I cleared it, so I was actually gonna put it closer to the garage, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I think a solution to this is for you to have the wetlands flagged.
Okay.
So that you know where they are.
Okay.
Then to reestablish vegetation, natural vegetation within the 25-foot no-touch zone.
Okay.
Okay, then what we would do is we'd have you put these little signs up saying, wetlands, so that your son doesn't go into it.
Well, you can go into them, just not with equipment.
Not with equipment.
No.
Okay, I think it's gonna be the easiest solution, so, I don't know how long it would take you to get, someone to flag us, a person who is qualified.
Yeah, I'd have to look at that.
Nobody from Rehoboth.
No.
So we have a list of consultants
Okay,
that
yeah,
work.
I'll grab the list off you guys, I'll get that, I can, you have it on your website, or?
I can email it to you.
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah, if you wanna provide your
Yeah,
email
yeah.
before you leave. But, yeah, so I think the key here is no more clearing and
No,
then
we haven't cleared, I mean, all the clearing that we did is already done anyways, we're not clearing anything.
no more
Okay,
land
fine.
disturbance, so
No.
no pulling any stumps, let's
No.
figure this out before you do
Yeah,
it.
correct, that's fine.
Any stumps that are there will probably send up shoots, but whoever flags it can give you, ideas or tell you what to plant in there.
Yeah.
And so we would like, we're gonna have to see the flagging, so they'll map the site, flag it, and then, tell us what you're gonna do there. And then you bring it to us and we'll approve it.
Yeah, what's gonna be done there is nothing, it's just cleared, I'm not putting nothing up over there, so.
Well, your wife said something about some landscaping changes in the front, including driveway, like.
Yeah, well, there was landscaping already there, we just ripped it all out, so.
Yeah, but.
There was existing landscaping there,
Mhm.
so.
So I guess,
Brick.
They had like brick front, they had like these shrubs, but like I said, it was like so neglected for so long, so it was like dead, overgrown, it wasn't worth playing with, you know what I mean?
So
So
what
we
we'd
ripped it
like-
all out.
to see, like, if you have that site plan.
Yeah.
And the wetland scientist could, cross out that engineer's name and maybe sketch in
Okay.
where the wetlands are, the buffer zones, unless you want them to do something in a report, which
Okay.
would be even better, if they can provide you with a report and a sketch. And then you can talk about what your plans are for the
Okay.
property in that buffer zone.
Okay.
We need to also figure out if those are vernal pools, because that makes a difference as far as the jurisdiction.
Another question, like, I got the driveway there now that exists, if I go rip that out and put a new driveway into it, does that have anything to do with the wetlands also again, even though there's a driveway there?
Yeah, it's probably in jurisdiction.
Just, do it on the map, this is what you're gonna do, and file, is it an RDA? So,
Yeah.
so we'll act on
We'll
your
guide you through
RDA
it.
for
Yeah. Like I said,
Okay.
Diane's a little different from Rehoboth,
Right.
so I mean, this is a little new to me, so.
Okay.
But
Yes.
whatever we're gonna do, we'll do, you know what I mean?
So give us your email, we'll
Yeah.
send you the
It's the
consent.
same email that you sent to my wife, just send it to her.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
she
Maria.
didn't respond though.
No, she got it though, she got it,
Okay.
because she gave me the paperwork. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said she was gonna be at a soccer practice or something.
Oh, yeah, I got a younger one, which is, gonna be graduating in
I
a year,
get it.
so. Doing like the final, soccer moments, you know?
Yeah.
Enjoy it, because it goes
Oh,
away.
believe me,
Yeah.
my line, look at this guy.
They get cheaper.
Yeah. I can tell, I can tell.
I'm telling you, so.
We're all set, I'm trying to move it along so.
No, absolutely, we don't wanna get
We're
moved to the
gonna
open
go to
line.
executive session, pretty soon.
No, it's all right. So put it this way, I'll touch up with you guys and get some of that, if you don't mind, send that information.
Yeah, of course.
And,
We'll send it.
we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All
Our
right.
next meeting.
I learned a lot tonight, by the way.
No, John's gonna go last.
Oh, yes, oh, so we sit around and.
Jim, the next
And
meeting.
then I'm gonna throw everybody out.
June 20th is the next meeting, you probably already heard that a number of times.
Okay.
But if you could provide us with an update for that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Even if you don't have it flagged by then,
Okay.
'cause they might not.
Yeah, I'll give you an update regardless, so.
Sounds good.
All right,
Thank you very
all
much.
right, thank you, have a good night,
Thank
nice
you.
meeting you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.
See you.
Okay, John, you got 2 minutes.
That's all I need. Good news, this morning I got the purchase and sale agreement on the property. It's at the lawyer's office right now. So,
You got it signed.
yeah, it's signed.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
That's great,
It came
and
this
we'll
morning,
work with
10:30.
you on the
I was
rehab.
gonna come here tonight and say it's off. It didn't show up.
Wow.
Okay, all right,
That's fantastic, congratulations. And a point of order, Mr. Chairman, before we enter executive session.
Anyways,
Under the
I
law,
won't be here for the 20th. but I'm
if we
gonna
have
talk about it.
additional public session items on the agenda, we have to leave executive session and come back to public
we don't have
session.
anything, we're done.
Right, so what I would advise would be for us to take public input correspondence out of order. That way we can announce when we enter executive
yes.
session that we will not be in open.
Okay, any public input? Yes,
When you're working on your bylaws, it'd be good if you could add something about these storage facilities for those batteries in there. Very hazardous material. I wonder, because
okay.
We could definitely consider a hazardous material.
Well, we're gonna come back to that next month because we didn't have quorum to vote on, so that will come back. So, we'll probably have to have, okay, maybe some kind of containment, area.
I did a little research on it, very scary stuff. Like the fire department, I talked to Chief AD, I said, on the board for the new
Yeah,
fire station, I asked him about it, and you don't put them on.
you know,
it's not
okay, if it's not in wetlands, if they're not putting it in our jurisdiction, we don't have a say in it. It would be the fire department who has the say. We can only deal with what's, 100 feet from wetlands and 200 feet from rivers and high water and vernal pools.
What he might be.
I'm referring to as the brown solution to low water in the area. If there was a fire with one of those, you don't put it out. It just
That's
seeps
the
into the
problem, is
ground.
that the area that it can contaminate if anything happened.
That's still not us, if it's an upland.
Yeah, that's not us.
If it's an
If it's not in the
So
buffer zone.
what is the zone?
They get up with storm.
He came here because the high tension poles and everything else are gonna go through wetlands. And so they have to.
No, that wasn't for that.
No, this is battery storage.
Oh,
Yeah, this is
Battery storage.
but he was dealing today with he just told us where battery storage was going to be.
He really
He didn't
hasn't
tell
discussed
us,
exactly what
his work was on the power lines for us.
No, that
that's
makes
two
two
separate-
different people up.
So
He's
just
storing
Lane-
batteries.
Lane and Lane,
Yeah,
that's,
but
storage.
he's way up in that corner next to the road.
I realize that, you know, it's got nothing to do with poles and battery storage.
Right, but I'm saying, is that battery storage in our jurisdiction?
It's gonna be
Oh,
close.
It's gonna be
It
close.
all depends on what he's doing, and then what is the buffer that we have
That's what we're
from
gonna
the
look at.
contaminants to the
Okay.
process.
That's what we will look at on the 20th.
Yeah, back to the other issue you were discussing, when Joe said he's gonna take and cut those, tear those erect buildings down and go 18 inch below level, is he leaving concrete in the ground and burying over that?
That's what he seemed to be saying.
I thought that was a bad thing,
No, concrete is,
burying concrete's.
yeah, it's
Well,
solid.
And it's already buried, so
Yeah,
no
it's already
disturbance.
buried, it's there.
Do you have anything that you know of that would be?
No, I always heard that you shouldn't bury concrete, you should dispose of it properly. So someone
I think
Well,
it's
that's-
illegal dumping is what they're pertaining
Okay.
to. If you're dumping blocks of concrete,
What I heard was there were poles that were gonna be not extracted from the ground. In my own personal opinion, that's a hazard, long-term hazard.
Wait a minute, the, wooden poles? Okay, no, they're gonna have to, because of the chemicals that they use.
Creosote,
We would,
Actually,
But he was talking about cutting them off 18 inches below the surface.
okay, so, all right, I was hearing what's on the top of the cement.
no.
There's
yeah.
two
Well,
different-
that's-
What are we talking about?
The power company and the hazardous waste from the batteries and the cutting of the poles, leaving either cement in or the wooden, treated poles.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we continue that hearing, so we're not supposed to discuss it as a board right now.
Actually, the creosote
Sorry, I
doesn't
didn't get in trouble.
go out like everybody says.
Excuse me?
Creosote doesn't go out like everybody says.
Oh,
They've done testing in areas where poles have been sitting like forever. And it's like 4 to 6 inches out, that's as far as the creosote's traveled.
I realize that, but I'm thinking of wildlife or small animals that
They're
basically come
only,
in
they're
contact.
only leaving them, he said they're only leaving them. So they're gonna take out as many as they can, but if there's a problem to devastate the area,
Right.
if they're gonna pull it out and it's gonna disrupt the big area, they're gonna leave, they're gonna come and flush and leave.
But do you think that it would be prudent to have someone, the ones that they're gonna leave behind, have someone at least view them?
Monitor, well, that can be a part of our order of conditions.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This way here. I
So
mean,
when you
just-
come next week, next month, you can bring that up.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, don't
All
forget.
right, are we, is public input all set? So, yes.
One more thing, it'd be good if you could reach out on the Maynard Lane, where it's so close to Rehoboth, to see if their conservation is working with them also. They could have some wetlands on the other side of that property line.
We've already hassled with Taunton over stuff. and-
Rehoboth,
It's Rehoboth,
it's
yeah.
Rehoboth.
I know, but we've hassled with Taunton over problems and, you know, that's gonna be, I hate to say it, but we can't get into their jurisdiction. I know what you're saying, believe me, you saw how busy we were tonight.
It's amazing.
Listen, this is my thought on this. This is, they should have filed, when they file for the project, they will have to do the same thing, they'll have to notify the Rehoboth abutters.
Of course.
All right? So,
One of the abutters that Rehoboth already sold his property, and moved out of town
yeah.
because of that. Once you do the research on those batteries, you don't wanna be around them.
Yeah.
You don't
All
wanna
right,
be around
so-
any of them.
I feel
You
very
don't wanna be
proud.
around the hand.
Guys, we have 28 minutes.
Okay, we good. All right,
Was there a
Warren
comment
Williams.
on Maynard on the way out? Okay.
Okay, no correspondence? Okay.
I actually have to recuse
Congratulations,
myself because I am not involved in
Congratulations.
Strawberry Fields.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
even though it's a long process.
Very long.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Have a great night, everybody, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Yep, so.
Lenny, you wanna close the door? Okay, yes, please, so we, well, okay. Under Massachusetts General Law, chapter, and that can be shut off.
First you must declare.
Under Massachusetts General Law, chapter 38, section 21A, 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation. If open meeting may have a detrimental effect upon the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares.
So technically you have to declare that it would.
And the chair so declares.
Okay, so you do something.
So we are going into this executive session.
And I will end the broadcast, and one last point of order, Mr. Chairman, could you please just confirm if we will or will not be returning to open session? Technically, we're supposed to state if we're not returning to open
We
session.
are not returning to open session.
Thank you very much.